something that wasn't a horse race was the constitutional concerns, which is my primary concern. It's unconstitutional. Everything is about is just commentary. But I'll go to the commentary. My concerns about cost. Right now I don't pay anything. So anything I have to pay extra is too much. I mean, right now the horse market is bottomed out. You can't get anything for a decent horse, and horses that aren't decent, you couldn't pay somebody to take from right now. What about the impact on small farmers? All right, well, I bought a few horses on my property, brings me an extra income to pay for my personal horses. With an animal ID system like this, first of all, I give up my private property rights, which I don't like. Second, let's say I've done that. Now I have to tag my horses. I don't want to tag my horses. It's not necessary. I can identify my horses. Most people can identify their children. I can identify my horses the same way. Could you find your daughter? Let's say you have a blonde-haired, blue-eyed daughter. Could you find her in a room full of blonde-haired, blue-eyed children? I'll bet you could. I can find my horses. I recognize them. And I say most people here could. If somebody does have so many animals, if they don't know as personally as I know my horses, there are certain systems that they've already gotten used to identify them. I don't need the government telling me how to mark my horse for their benefit. Let me see. Privacy and confidentiality. I don't care. You can Google my name and find everything about me. That's not my problem. My problem is it's none of the government's business. Liability. I'm not producing food. I'm not importing livestock. That's not a problem. Civil rights are my concern. Premise registration. I own my property. I'm not a stakeholder, and my home is not a premises. I have not heard any guarantees that that would not change. Mr. Hammerschmidt, last November, I asked you, or I asked Ron Miller, about could you come onto my property without permission or a warrant if I have a premise ID? As I recall, your response to me was that if the governor declared an emergency, you wouldn't need a warrant. I did not ask if the governor declared an emergency. I want to know, can you come onto my property without permission or a warrant in a non-emergency situation? Because if you can, that is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. I'd like a straight answer sometime. I think everybody involved with this would like a straight answer. And we'd like to see it in writing. Animal identification. Well, like I said, I can identify my horses. I don't care if you can or not, because I know who they are. Also, they're going to start threatening me that I have to comply. The more USDA pushes this at us, the harder we will resist. Animal tracing, the only way to make this practical on the individual level. Somebody asked me earlier about, do I keep records of where my horses go? Why? I was there with them. I know where I've been and I don't keep it in writing. Not necessary. And as far as, I go to horse shows. I've worked in a horse show secretary office. I've done the secretary job myself. Everybody who brings a horse to a show has their contact information and their horse's information on file with the horse show committee. Yes, we can track you back if you attended a particular show. So, as I see it, this program is unconstitutional. As Jonah said, it's invasive. And the more you push it, the more we will push back. And yes, there will be civil disobedience. I'll do just one more thing. I want to remind people in this room, if anybody remembers anything about U.S. history, you've heard about prohibition. Government thought it would be a good idea to ban alcohol in this country because alcohol is bad for you. Hey, we all agree alcohol can be bad for you. So the government took it upon themselves because they had a group of people that wanted to ban it, and all hell broke loose in this country, and 10 years later we had to reinstate alcohol as legal product. If you people push this on us because you think it's a good idea, and the people who are affected by it do not want it, It will not work in the same way that prohibition did not work.
Okay, thank you, Mark. It was this gentleman.